Black Panther Wakanda Forever just got some very bad news about the box office that has left some of the actors that were involved with this film not happy at all with some of the things, and they start to actually talk about some of the terrible decisions that were made behind the scenes when it comes to this film that has left this film leaving people feeling like, yeah, this movie is really not that great. And even though, despite the fact that we are seeing some very suspicious activity when it comes to the Rotten Tomatoes scores, the audience scores, I did a whole video on that, by the way, that you can go check out if you want to. It came out like a week ago or so. Yeah, it was not looking good, and it's not looking good at all. It's getting to be very, very bad when it comes to the news for Wakanda Forever. So let's get into this and see what is going on here, because box office Black Panther Wakanda Forever endures on top in second weekend. And of course, you know, the media, they're going to try to spin this to make it sound like it's still some sort of huge, miraculous, major victory for Marvel that has never been done before in the history of cinema, and, you know, all of that type of stuff. You know, the narrative that they always have to try to push with these types of films. That is not the case when it comes to this, because the news is actually very, very bad when it comes to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever will keep its box office crown in its second weekend, towering over new studios' releases of the menu, and she said, obviously, it was going to do better than those films. Let's just be honest. The menu, she said, nobody expected those movies to do better than Wakanda Forever. But that is, of course, how they twist and tweak the narrative to make it sound like Black Panther Wakanda Forever is still some sort of massive success. But Marvel's sequel brought in an additional $17.9 million on its second Friday, down 79% from its opening day figure. Now, that right there spells a lot of doom for the box office for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, this movie is still going to make money, but when we look at the pattern of the movies that have come out from Marvel over this past year, things like Thor: Love and Thunder, which did not do that great in the box office, we can see that this movie is doing even worse on its second Friday than Thor: Love and Thunder did. So it is not looking good for this movie. Projections for the sophomore outing for Wakanda Forever landed in the $65 million to $70 million range, which would mark a substantial but standard for a superhero movie second weekend drop over 60%, and we'll keep an eye on that and see how bad the drop is actually going to be, because I think it is definitely going to be higher than just 60%, but it is not looking good for this. While the Black Panther sequel is still tracking slightly behind the Doctor Strange adventure, the film looks to nab a sizable haul at the box office over the Thanksgiving holiday next weekend. See how they're doing this? Like, they're still trying to make it sound like this movie is going to be some sort of massive, huge success. That's what they do. But now we also have some of the actors that are also not happy with some of the things that have happened when it comes to Wakanda Forever. And Angela Bassett, who plays Queen Ramonda in the Black Panther films, who was fantastic, by the way, in Wakanda Forever, she's here to talk about some of the things when it comes to this film. There are some spoilers here, so let's take a look at that. I just felt a responsibility, Bassett said. I remember the first day, the first scene where I had to sit on the throne. It's like, how exactly do I sit here? What is the best posture to convey who she is? First of all, you acknowledge that feeling that you had that T'Challa, Chadwick, sat here and should be sitting here, and then here comes Killmonger. He sat here for a minute, and who deserves it? Who has the right to sit here? Yes, in this moment, in this time, it is Ramonda, but how do I hold that posture? How do I lead? She then had a very big conflict with the director, Ryan Coogler, when it comes to some of the decisions that they made creatively about this film. Bassett also discussed the shocking twist in the new film, Ramonda's death. When director Ryan Coogler told Bassett the news, she wasn't too keen about the decision. I objected, she said. Yeah, I was like, Ryan, what are you doing? Why? You will rue the day. You will rue the demise of Ramonda. People are going to be upset. And indeed, a lot of people were. When Ramonda was, when she was killed in the film, it definitely took away a lot of the charm that I thought was in the movie. I thought that she was definitely the presence that was carrying a lot of that film. And when she was gone, a lot of that was snuffed out, and you could feel it in the film. Coogler then explained himself. He was like, Angela, I know, but look, to die is not really to die in this world. It doesn't really have to mean that. Coogler was right. In her eyes, it wasn't impossible that Ramonda might come back one day. All kinds of crazy things happen, which also is this is kind of a catch-22 situation, because Coogler's basically admitting that it was some sort of cheap death, that there really isn't some sort of heavy weight to it anymore, because basically she could just come back. So either way, creatively, I think this was a terrible decision Coogler made, despite no matter how you look at it. But We also have this as bad news for Marvel as well. MCU fans are growing tired of constant content, according to new data. The MCU fatigue is reportedly far worse than DC's, and a lot of that is attributed to the fact that we have Disney Plus, where we're just getting like a constant slew of, well, let's just be honest, crap content when it comes to the MCU that is coming out on Disney Plus. None of the shows are really that great, in my opinion, when it comes to what we are getting from that. So overall, things are not looking good for Marvel, and it is going to continue to get worse for them, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever is definitely a sign of that, as we are seeing this massive drop to 79% on its second Friday. That is terrible. So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.